New Style Chronicles. Wow.
It's the Style Chronicles.
I know, exactly. It's a Monday. A snowy
Monday. And it's just the Daniel Baker and Sean Mack in the studio.
Yes, I know. It's official. It is official. Isn't that scary? Can we actually say that? Is that scary to you?
I'm still not scared. You scared? So you scared?
No, let's give it applause.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
Exactly.
Shout out to our executive producer, Mr. Terrence Styles.
Hopefully he's watching or listening. Exactly. So yes, as we said, it's an all new Chronicles tonight. The Chronicle is entitled "Dating for Dummies." I'm interested with this one. I really am.
It is interesting.
I don't even want to talk to you because clearly you already pretty much got this in the bag. You got anniversaries and stuff like that. So.
Well, I don't know if I got it in the bag, but it's going mighty well right now.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. So you can follow us on Instagram and like us, friend us on Facebook. The Style Chronicles Radio Show, if that is.
And make sure that's Style with 2 Y's.
2 Y's, not one.
Style with 2 Y's.
2 Y's, not one.
And we want to thank you all for joining us so far tonight. And the topic again is
Dating for dummies.
And we don't want y'all to take this in an irrational way.
True.
Just more so to give out like tips and information that may can help. We also going to want to hear from you as well, so you can give us some of your experiences, some good first dates, some exit dates, or whatever you want to share. So make sure that you call us at 1-800-400
888 400
55
74.
One more time. That's 1-888-400 5574.
She's so used to doing infomercials. Also, when you get a chance, you can check out the Chronicle website. That's www.the Chronicles. Styles with an S, Chronicles with an S, .wordpress.com. You can check out my bio, Danielle bio, the executive producer Terrence Style bios, upcoming events, archive shows, various photos from past events, and the list goes on and on. I was just actually on there recently and I was looking at some pictures that we had on there. And then some videos from last season. Cracking up laughing. When I say I was like dying laughing. Yes, I was dying.
I gotta go back to last season and check some of them out.
Yes, especially the confessions of the season finale, because that was just a crazy season finale when we had all the guest co-hosts here. So, but if you've been under a rock for the last, I guess 3 Chronicles, this is the 4th one. Basically, we are your new host of the Style Chronicles. Mr. Terrence Styles himself has left the DMV area.
Oh, I don't know if we should give him the bulls. Maybe give him the Oz. Give him the Oz.
Okay, let me give him the Oz.
Yes, because he has, went on to do some great things, and a lot of his assignments is done here in this area, but we wish him the best wishes of all.
Oh, definitely, and I'm pretty sure that we'll definitely be hearing from him, throughout the couple of Chronicles that we have for this season. So I'm looking forward to that, so he can give us his updates on how everything's going.
And if you don't know, he is now moved to Atlanta.
Yes, the good old ATL.
The hot Atlanta.
Even though, and it's funny because we actually had some callers from the ATL that called us during the confession show a couple of weeks ago, so that was kind of funny. But let's get right into it. Let's start with the weekend recap. So how was your weekend?
How was your weekend? How did you start this time?
Okay.
You normally start.
All right. My weekend was good. Friday, I really didn't do too much on Friday. I kind of just chilled and relaxed. And then Saturday, I did some running around, and I ended up buying a brand new computer, Miss Baker.
Oh my gosh, like a laptop?
A laptop. I still had a desktop, and like it's old, from 2006. So Windows and the internet looks at me like, what you doing? What you doing? What you think you doing? So I was like, I have to let this thing go. I have to let it go. So what I decided to do was I decided to get rid of it, keep it, but I have so much like stuff on there, like music is out the chart. You know how I am with music. I'm just like all over the place with music. I'm a very diverse individual. So I have a lot of music. So I have to literally sit down and move each one. And it's good because it gives me a chance to kind of like go through and make sure that I kind of,
even want the stuff that's still there.
Exactly, because some stuff is snippets. I can't stand snippets where you think you're getting the whole song and it's like a little small part, and then it just like fades into another song. Don't ask me. I don't know why the CD was like that. It was a fade CD. That's what I call it, a fade CD. So I finally started doing that, and then Sunday went up to Philly, went to the wrestling show.
Okay.
Absolutely a blast.
Oh wow.
Had fun. Seats was everything. Sat pretty much front row.
Nice.
So that was good. Other than that, that was about it. And dealing with the weather.
Do you wrestle?
No, I could just go watch.
Oh, okay.
That's what people always ask that. That's the first thing people ask. Well, when you actually like watch it, do you ever like wrestle or something like that? Like, I mean, I have.
I'm also thinking about your wrestling men.
Here we go. Oh my God, y'all are going to let that go.
No, so I was just, trying to figure out everything that was in common. That's all I was just trying to figure out.
That's just something I think that started. I think, with that, I think all, like, young kids, when you were into, like, wrestling and things like that, you pretty much got the action figures and you sit on the table, I kind of go with it. But I made it into like a bigger, broader production. Like literally I would write everything out, book everything out. I would literally commentate the matches, make music.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I took it to the whole extreme. I would shut down the living room. You come in the living room, lights out because tape is coming out. Like, I shut it down. Just shut it down, cut it down. Like, you watching TV, you're gonna have to go in your room because it's production time. So I think that's another reason why I'm so animated.
Oh, okay.
It all coincides with each other.
I get it now.
Yeah, so between that was it. And then, dealing with the weather.
Oh, okay.
That's about it. So the weather wasn't too crazy, but I was kind of happy that, it didn't go like driving from down there because it did start it, flaring a little bit while I was down there. But things went well. Things went really, really well. So can't complain.
No, that's good.
So what about you? What'd you do this weekend?
Well, for me, Friday evening, I actually went to a friend's birthday dinner. We got some really, really good sushi. So it was good to be. It was a ladies' night, so it was good to be out with all the ladies and having great conversation and getting some quality time in there.
Okay.
Then my daughter woke up with a fever though.
Oh,
the weather was like really crazy Friday night, and it was just like terribly raining and everything, but. My daughter woke up and she was sick, so I missed my boot camp on Saturday.
Okay.
So I did not get my workout in. So I was, had to do something in the house really quick. I did some work. I had to go into the studio. So I did some work on Saturday.
Hold on, man. We actually got a call. This is interesting. Like, we just got started. We got a call already, so.
All right.
Let's see. WPB Radio Style Chronicles, you're on the air. I guess somebody just really wanted to call. Yeah. All right. So, okay, nobody. So let's go. All right.
So by that afternoon, though, she was running around feeling good.
Isn't that amazing? Don't you miss those days when you were like young and you were like you can literally get sick and then out of the blue, bam, you back better.
Well, you know what? I don't miss those days because of that, but I do miss those days without these problems. I'll tell you that much. The stress. So then Saturday evening, I drove up to PA to help celebrate another friend of mine birthday that was having a gathering at her home. And then Sunday with the church, I got an awesome word in.
That's always a good thing.
Always, always, always. And then I supported a friend. I was able to go and see something in the workings, a new opportunity. And that's going to be coming really soon to an area near you. A restaurant that's going to be opening pretty soon. So it was good to see the beginning process with that. And then from there, early dinner, late lunch, good conversation. And then for the rest of the day, I just pretty much got organized and got things together for the week.
Okay. So no relaxing, I guess, this time around.
Well, no relaxing this week. I was happy to get it in the week before last, though.
Okay.
That's gonna have to last me for the rest of the month, at least.
You know what? I'll have to do something with you. I can't with you right now. Like.
Yeah.
So you honestly really just don't have time where you just like, okay, you know what? I just need to sit down and just like not do nothing. Like
I do
nothing.
not have that type of time. I'm like always working on something, projects running. Like I'm just it's just in my nature. I'm just used to it, you know.
Okay.
You know, when people say they get bored, or they're like bored.com, I'm like, how the heck is you getting bored? I give you something to do. I never get bored. It's always something to do. It's just whether you choose to do it or not.
That's true.
You know. But for the most part, I'm always busy. I try to take time to meditate either in the morning or the night just to kind of relax my mind.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm not like doing like you and Terrence and taking off a day or two to do nothing at all. And it sounds great. And when I do get that chance to do it, it is a really good feeling, you know. And if
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of those things where you could just sit back and just be like, oh my God, it's not. I don't have to do nothing.
Right. And
nothing.
rejuvenate yourself.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, you know, things turn around where I can at least try to do that once a week. But right now, I'm on the grind.
Hey, you know what? I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. I think, you know, in all essence, that's probably like one of the best things to kind of do. You know, just focus, just kind of have time just to do you. I think, you know, it's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all. I don't know if I can do that though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that. It's too much.
It's just too much.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's always something happening. And like a lot of times, if I'm just sitting at home doing nothing, then somebody will literally call and be like, "Hey, you know, do you want to do something?" And that's rare because normally, you know, I'm all by myself. Like even when I go to concerts or events, I'm by myself.
Oh, see, I don't know about all that, see.
Oh my God, that's the best.
I will go places by myself now, trust and believe.
Okay.
But I'm not doing everything by myself. Like I'm not a loner, like just everything
What you trying
by
to say? Did you just call me a loner? Did you literally just call me a loner?
It's never just, you're not a loner. I mean, it's you and your wrestling men.
You are starting already. Oh wow, I feel some type of way. I'm
But
feeling
no,
some
just
type of way.
sidebar. How many is it? How many friends do you have?
Like,
Wrestling friends.
well, no, I got rid of them. Oh my God, yes, do you understand that I had figures that was literally worth like thousands of dollars as
So
of right
you
now?
sold them on eBay?
No, what happened was when I was younger, I finally, you know, I can't even say, I'm not gonna say what age I got rid of them at because that's just embarrassing. But finally, my nephew was into wrestling as well too. So what I did was I actually decided to give everything to him. Everything that I had, I gave it to him.
Oh wow.
And it kind of like took like a piece of my soul. It like really hurt. So, but because you know I was really into it. Like
so
I
is he
got
into it like you?
How about this, Miss Baker?
They're already in the trash?
How about all of them? I don't even know where they're at. I don't even know where they're at. But this was years ago. And like when I think back on it, I'm just sitting there like, wow, like and I look at people that sell these things and I'm just like, wow, y'all really like it literally like racked up. Like it's worth money now. And I'm just like, you know, you gotta cherish the things when you have
you could have kept them as collectibles. Yeah.
Well, you know, I wasn't thinking about that at that particular time. I'm thinking like, okay, my age at this particular time, 20-something. So I did one of the Terrence things. It was just time. It was time. So that was about it.
Okay.
Well, it seemed like your weekend was pretty good.
Yeah, yours too. You got to relax again.
Yeah, a little bit. I did manage to get that in, but I know got crazy weekend this weekend, so I'm looking forward to it though. All right, people. So we're about to actually take a commercial break, and then we come back. We're gonna get into the style report, see what Miss Baker got for us, and fill you in on some other things that's happening in the world of entertainment. And we actually got a brand new segment that we're trying out tonight. So I'm actually looking forward to that. So this is Sean Smack Mac along with the Daniel Baker. And shout out to the Turnstiles. He's in Atlanta. Better be listening to us. Alright, so we'll be right back with more Style Chronicles right here on WPB Radio. We're back. It's an all-new Style Chronicles radio show with your host, your new host. I gotta get used to saying that. New host, Sean Smack Mac and
the Danielle Baker.
She was very calm. The Danielle Baker. Yes. So tonight's chronicle, an all-new chronicle, is called Dating for Dummies. This should be interesting because basically all of us have different relationships, ups and downs, and, you know, good times, bad times. But I think it's actually good that we're going to get some feedback and see if we're doing some things right, doing some things wrong. We all can't live the life like Miss Baker and
That's what
have
you're not gonna do.
anniversaries.
That was a long time coming, honey.
All right, so we actually have two guests tonight. I'm actually looking forward to this. So one of our guests is on the phone with us, Michael Kirkwood. Welcome to the Styyle Chronicles, sir.
Sean and Danielle, thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful to be on the show, and also thank you to your executive producer, Terrence Styles. We appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Michael.
I live here in D.C. I've been in Washington, D.C. since 2005. I'm currently in a relationship. My partner and I have been together for just a little over 3 years. And a year ago, back in December of 2013, I established a small company called Social Experiments DC. We host same-sex dating events for singles interested in dating and or establishing relationships. And so far, it has been going extremely well.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. So with that, do you actually, when you do these events, do you have, like, what's your turnout normally?
It generally varies. Typically, we may have anywhere on average of, 8 to, up to maybe 16 participants. I think at one of our speed dating events, we had the largest one that we hosted, we actually had 20 guys in attendance.
Wow.
And the most recent event that we did, our last event, we did in Atlanta, we had 14 guys come out and participate.
Nice.
Okay.
So what is this, once they get there, like what typically happens? Like what's the rundown of the event? Like, kind of like your timeline of how people meet.
Well, it depends on the event. Most of the events that we've done speed dating events, but we also do singles mixers.
Mm-hmm.
But with the speed dating events, you register beforehand, you go online. We have our registration set up through eventbrite.com, so folks can go online, register in advance. And once you arrive at the event, we do a check-in time, which is roughly 30 minutes. So you come, you get checked in, we give you a name tag, we give you your dating schedule. And depending on when you register, we may even buy your drink.
Oh, wow.
That's important. That's important these days. Gotta ease the tension.
We generally buy, say, the first 10 to 12 registrants, a cocktail, and a lot of folks appreciate that because they need that liquid courage.
I like that. Liquid courage. I like that.
You gotta steal that one. You about to steal it from
You
me.
already know. I'm not going to steal. I'm just going to borrow it from time to time.
Liquid courage.
And, depending on when guys get there, hopefully, they're on time, they have an opportunity to, hang out and mingle, if you will, before the event begins. And then, once we get our final data, we begin, and I give them the rundown of how things are going to go. And of course, if they've read the information on the registration page in advance, they really know what to expect. And it's important to us to try to meet those expectations, and which is, has been one of the keys to the success of our events, because I think oftentimes, in our community, so many of us are let down in these types of events.
That's
so,
true.
It's important to me to make sure that we meet folks' expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you ever had, I'm pretty sure you've run across this, where you got some people that are shy when they first get there? Because that's been always my intimidation. I've talked to a couple of friends that actually did the speed dating thing, and it's funny because they always say, I'm afraid. Like, I'm afraid. I don't know what to say, or I don't want to say the wrong thing. So it's like, definitely when you say the drink, I think that eases the mind. But for those people that really don't drink, and it's kind of like, okay, what do I do, like, when I first get there? Like, so have you ever ran across that where you had, like, shy people that the event is there and it's time to start and they're just, like, sitting there?
Well, I don't necessarily know if a person is shy, but I will tell you, oftentimes we do meet people who come and you can see the fear in their eyes. You can see the nervousness, and really, I have to commend the folks that do our events, because in essence, not only, are you going on multiple first dates, and depending on the number of folks in attendance, it could be anywhere from 10 to 14 different first dates, but also they're all blind dates.
Right.
So it can be very nerve-wracking, but what I say, based on my experience in doing these events, one of my favorite things about the events is to see the expression on some of the guys' faces when they get to the event and to see their interactions. And you can tell that they're nervous and they're somewhat fearful. But within, a minute of the event beginning, you see the transformation from, oh my gosh, I thought this was going to be horrible, to, wow, I'm having a really good time. And you can see it in their interactions with the different folks that they go on the dates with. So that's always my favorite thing about the event.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
are y'all doing any kind of, I guess, like profiling as far as kind of setting people up based on, I guess, things that they like, things that they don't like? Is that within your...
And it's interesting that you asked that. I'm not. And it's a conscious decision not to do that because, my fear is that, if we were to do something like that we end up giving the impression that we're excluding people.
Okay,
or,
I see what you're saying.
Not being inclusive. And I want to make sure that, that these events are inclusive and that folks, who are interested, know that, that they're welcome and, there are no judgments on our part. The only criteria is really that you meet a certain age, and most of the events that we've done have, been for folks 25 plus. In the past, I have tried to do events, with various ages, particularly targeting, I've tried events unsuccessfully targeting older people, but have not been successful in terms of getting the number of people, that would constitute a worthwhile event. But the most successful events that we've done have been, targeting folks 25 plus.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So now, do you have that? Is it various? Like, is it women, all women? Is it males, or is it kind of like? Do you do straight? A little bit of everything.
So far the events have only been men.
Okay.
However, this year I am open to targeting women.
Oh, okay.
The events as well and expanding. It's just a matter of figuring out how best to go about targeting that audience.
Oh, okay.
And what really drives you? Like, what after 3 years of doing this, what makes you continue to want to keep them going?
Well, this is our second year.
Okay.
And I tell you what is has continued to motivate me and had me continue to press forward with it is really the responses that we get as a result of doing the events and the feedback that we get on Facebook, because we primarily advertise the events on Facebook, and it's been incredibly positive. Not only from people that have participated in the events, but primarily them, but also people who just kind of see what we're doing and maybe they can't participate because they're not here in DC, or they're not in Atlanta. So that has been tremendous because the overwhelming feedback has been, wow, I think it's great that you're offering this kind of event. It seems very positive, very healthy. I wish there were more things like this, offered for our community. So that's been incredibly encouraging.
Yeah, I think that's it. You really don't have too many people that are organizing, speed dating and events like this, because it's a lot. I'm pretty sure you can attest to it. It's a lot just to get people out and actually, excited about wanting to do it. Do you have a lot of the same people that come back all the time, or do you see it actually being a lot of newer faces?
I see more newer faces than anything, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I have had a few folks who have been repeat daters.
Okay.
And really, and my thoughts on it, and mind you, I haven't done speed dating. I've offered it, but my thoughts on it are, if you speed dated with us in say April, then and you had mutual matches as a result of the event, because the idea is for you to to come out and you go on various dates and you want to get, hopefully at least one mutual match, meaning you expressed an interest in someone and that person also expressed an interest in you, and then we provided you with each other's contact information. So oftentimes a lot of guys will attend the event and will leave with anywhere from say 2 to 4 mutual matches. I would think that it would take a little bit of time to manage those, if you're genuinely interested in, dating and possibly even establishing a relationship with the folks that you've met. So, I think it would take somewhat, a little bit of time to actually get out and get together and talk and have conversations with folks. So, I would think that even if you were interested in coming back and trying another event, that it might be at least a month or 2 months before you came back.
Before you actually came back, yeah. I see what you're saying. Now, let me ask you this. What kind of advice can you give to our listeners about the rejection side of it. We had someone to ask us about that, like, what do you do, or, you know, what can you tell them as far as if they was to come to your event, or, you know, if they met somebody and they were rejected, you know, started to getting a lot of rejection, how can they deal with that?
Well, first, you know, at our events, whether or not you get a mutual match is confidential.
Okay.
So, you know, I don't share that information. I don't advertise the information.
That's great.
And of course, if you have a mutual match, not only will you know, but your match is going to know.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a mutual match, no one will know but you and I.
Okay.
But I do always tell participants, just because you don't have a mutual match does not mean that no one liked you.
Right.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's true. That's true, because, you know, it is weird because a lot of people may have an interest in you, but get afraid to actually say something. Even it's like an atmosphere like that. Because what happens if you have an interest in two people? Like 2 or 3 people?
Well, the way he said it seems like you can actually, you can have more than one mutual match at your event, right?
Absolutely, Ms. Baker.
Okay.
But that would scare me. That would so scare me.
And most people do. And, you know, what I say with the matches thing, you know, keep in mind, just because you don't have a mutual match doesn't mean that no one liked you.
Right.
And if, let's say, you know, you attend the event, you don't have a mutual match, because I will email you afterwards. You know, we email folks within 24 hours of the event to let them know if they have a mutual match or not. And if you don't have a mutual match, generally what I say, you know, unfortunately you didn't have any mutual matches. However, there were people who expressed an interest in you. Or there was someone who expressed an interest in you. I will put that out there because, you know, I don't want people to feel like, oh my gosh, everybody at the event, you know, didn't like me. And there's something wrong with me.
Right.
So, you know, I do try to let people know, hey, somebody expressed an interest in you. But realize also, Sean, that that person may have expressed an interest in you and wanted to date you again, but you didn't want to date him.
You see, and I guess that's why I feel a certain way when I think of speed dating. I'm just like, oh my goodness, like I really, like you really go on a first date, you really feeling somebody and like, wow, like this person really like caught my attention. And then it's just like, all right, well, I'm not interested in you no more.
Well,
like,
all your events are, you said some of your events include the speed dating, right?
Yes, the majority of the events that we've done, Ms. Baker, have been speed dating events, but we've also done some singles mixers. Which the last singles mixer we did for a Facebook group, and actually I did it as a complimentary event.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't charge. And actually, it's a Facebook group that I'm a part of as well. And I really did it as a means of kind of, you know, one, putting on the event for the guys and giving them an opportunity to experience what we do, but also as a means of marketing what I'm doing or what I'm attempting to do. And I particularly wanted to do the singles mixer because, you know, I hadn't done very many. And also, it's much less structured than the speed dating. So at a singles mixer, you register online also, you come, and there may be anywhere from 15 to, say, 30 guys. At the mixer that we did for the Facebook group, we had roughly 60 guys attend. And so, you know, and what we do, we facilitate anywhere from, say, 3 to 4 different icebreakers during the evening. And in essence, it gives you an opportunity to meet every guy who's in attendance, you know, at the event. You may spend anywhere from 2 minutes to 4 or 5 minutes with each person that you meet, having a conversation about a topic that we pose to you. You get a dating card, if you will, and you have an opportunity to write down the names of the guys that you really like.
Okay.
If they write down your name on their card, then that's a mutual match. And within 24 hours of the event, you're given that person's contact information.
I mean, that's outstanding.
Wow. Yeah, you actually, it's so funny because I was literally, a listener just hit us up and actually asked a question. You just answered the question on, because the question was, how do the person say that they're interested? Is there some type of form that they fill out or like note that they fill out or something like that? But wow, you just literally just answered that. That's so funny.
The point, and you know, the point of doing this, and I'm sure there are those people who are skeptical of events like this who say, well, you know, I can meet people on my own. And you know, I don't need to go speed dating or I don't need to attend a singles mixer. Really, the point of this is really for us to take some of the fear out of it, and the uncomfortableness and the awkwardness that a lot of us have in terms of approaching people or striking up conversations. And you know, and we kind of force it upon you in a sense. You know, we bring you into the environment. You know, you check in, and you really, you know, you're forced to chat and come face to face with people and have a conversation. And, you know, and it could be, you know, about something completely silly, you know, or it could be, you know, something, you know, happening in terms of current events. It just depends on what the icebreaker is that we're doing. But what we found is that once these events get going, folks are having a really good time and really enjoying
Yeah, that's
the
good.
events.
What made you get into
Yeah.
this? Like, what made you get started and coming up, doing your first event and keeping it going? Like, what really made you say, you know what, I could put this event together and see how it goes?
Well, the number one driving factor for me in terms of doing this was the fact that, fortunately I've been blessed to have an incredible relationship with a terrific guy, and I wanted to create positive and healthy opportunities for other people to establish the same.
Nice.
That's good.
That's
Wow.
very good. So do y'all, look at me. I'm from the envelope.
Here Miss
Do
Baker.
y'all have,
Here she go.
it's a sidebar.
What you about to
Do
say?
y'all have any problems with, I guess, some of the guys attending, trying to talk to you or, the person you're in a relationship with?
No, I've never had that happen. I have
Nice.
had guys, inquire, are you single? And my boyfriend, has expressed, yeah, okay,
Yes.
he was interested. He has attended quite a few of the events.
I know that's right.
He's been incredibly supportive.
Oh, good.
And actually, he's even listening tonight.
Oh, good. Good support.
Yeah, good support. Yeah, you definitely need to have that these days.
And I really, and when I'm doing the events, and I'm in the moment, that is not even, it's not a focus for me.
Okay.
Nice.
My focus is, let me make sure I get everybody checked in, let me make sure everybody's comfortable, and another thing that has really, the thing I think that has really contributed to the success of these events is the attitudes and dispositions of the guys that come to these events. I have to tell you that we have never had a problem or issue at any of the events that we've hosted. These guys come in, everybody is respectful
Nice.
and cordial and polite. I have had, folks who have, I've had white guys call and say, hey, is it okay for me to participate in your event? I'm into
Nice.
black guys, but, I don't know if they'll want to date me.
Mhm.
And, then I have to be honest, well, I don't know either.
You just come out and say that like, I don't know. I can't answer that for you.
But I tell them, like, one thing I can assure you is that I'm not going to let you be disrespected at the event.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
That's very good.
And it's never been a problem or issue. And just so you know, the white guys that have come to these events, because, most of these events have been attended primarily by African American men, even though, there have been Hispanic men and white men as well. But, generally, the non-black men get mutual matches.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right. Well,
Very nice.
we're actually gonna take a little break as of right now. We're gonna come back, talk a little bit more with Michael Kirkwood. Wow, it's
If you
interesting.
can hang on for us, we got a few more questions for you.
Yes.
Sure will.
Okay.
All right, more Style Chronicles when we come back with our guest, Michael Kirkwood, as we have Chronicle number 4, Dating for Dummies. We'll be back on WPBradio.com, and you're hearing the voice of the new host of the Style Chronicles radio show. It's myself, Sean Smack Mac, and that's how I'm gonna start saying your name.
You better hold that note.
Oh, don't do it. Don't let me do it. I ain't bring my choir robe today.
Oh, okay.
And our Chronicles for this evening is Dating for Dummies. And we've been actually talking to our first guest of the night, Mr. Michael Kirkwood. So, you were basically explaining to us about how a couple of the events that you actually do. Speed dating is one. He has the singles mixer, which is actually interesting. I've never even been to one of those before. I'm actually curious to see about that one. It's interesting. So, my question to you is, I'm curious because I want to kind of go like Miss Baker does and go a little bit deeper. How come you have never did it?
Well, honestly, because it wasn't offered. At the time that, I was dating or before my relationship, I did research, of course, before I started Social Experiments DC, to find out, who, if anyone, was offering these kind of events, particularly for our community. And, I think I saw a few events that were offered by a group called Pros in the City. And, that group periodically did, gay speed dating events. They weren't necessarily targeting African Americans particularly, and honestly, no one was. So I didn't do it because I didn't have an opportunity. So I created the opportunity for other people.
Good.
Interesting.
Well, I got a few questions for you before we let you go. What would you recommend people to wear to one of your events?
I recommend, I was listening to the show before I came on, and I think you gave folks some great advice.
To test you. I was about to ask, what about the advice that she gave in her style
But
report?
I know mine probably, I try to give a balance between women and men, but of course, a man can speak more from a man's perspective.
Good. That's actually true. That's true.
I think you should be comfortable. Our events, are not held, at the Ritz-Carlton. We hold our very casual places, so there's no need for you to wear a suit and tie. You should dress as you would on any first date.
Okay.
And the advice that you gave earlier, you don't need to dress in a costume. Make sure that you've probably worn before. And it should be comfortable on you. It shouldn't be tight or form-fitting unless that's what you like. And if that's what you like, do you. But yeah, you should feel comfortable in what you have on, and I think you also should feel like you look your best.
Yeah.
Whether you're in sneakers, Timbs, casual shoes, whatever. I think you should feel good about yourself when you come to the event.
Okay, good stuff.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
What happens, I know you said after the event is over, you're contacted 24 hours later, within 24 hours about your mutual matches. And then what happens from there? So once you contact the person with their mutual matches, are they getting like phone number, email, or how are you putting them in contact with the person that's interested?
We only provide the person's first name and also their email address.
Okay.
And of course, you're given the person's first name at the event because we do require the participants to wear name tags. So, you can see who everybody is. And, but if you do have a mutual match, you're really just given the person's email address. And we ask all of the participants to make sure that they give us an email address that they check regularly.
Okay. And do you follow up, I guess, I don't know, like a week or a month later just to see how their dates go, or just once you pass it on, it's kind of left in their hands? What happens from there?
Once we give them the contact information, it's in their hands. Yeah, from there. And a lot of people have asked since I've been doing this, if there have been any success stories, have people gotten engaged or have people gotten married? Don't let it hear. So, stories of marriage at this point, not to say that, that's not possible, but I have heard of stories where people have expressed that, they have been dating a person that that was one of their mutual matches from one of the events, so that's good to know.
That's awesome. I mean, the way that you have it structured and the information that you shared with us tonight is very, very professional.
Yes,
I commend you on the job that you're doing. I know some success stories will be coming down the pike really soon.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure I know it's tough. It's tough to actually put together. It's tough to actually do. Just putting all of it, organizing it, and just having success stories definitely is always a positive thing, especially with today's society.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. We feel great, about what we're doing, and we continue to evolve. Originally, when we started out, I was modeling the events after heterosexual speed dating events, and I was splitting folks up into two groups, Group A, Group B. And folks kept saying, well, how come I can't date the people who are also in my group? And so, I got smart and figured out a way to make it truly a same-sex event, in that, okay, now you get to date absolutely everybody that attends the event.
Okay.
That was smart.
Yeah, so we use a software program that's free online. I treat every single person as if they're their own team, and the software tournament scheduler spits out a dating schedule for every single person that attends the event. So, it's been fantastic.
That's good.
So do you have like a team of people that work with you? Like, is it just you? Is it just, you and your spouse? Is it like,
Well, I'm not married yet.
See, I'm putting the ring on the finger already. You see, I'm claiming it.
Listen.
I'm claiming it.
But yes, to answer your question, I've had a tremendous amount of support from friends. As I mentioned to you, my partner has been extremely helpful. He's been at majority of the events that I've done. My two buddies, Chris and Corey, it's really ironic that have been incredibly supportive and helpful because I have two first cousins back home in Illinois whose names are Chris and Corey. So, these are my play cousins, I guess, away from home. But they have been extremely supportive and extremely helpful as well in terms of, helping get people checked in and making sure that people are comfortable and, kind of chatting them up before the event and helping with, the nervousness. And Chris has, gone so far to even travel with us to Atlanta to help us do the events in Atlanta. We're doing our second event in Atlanta this Saturday at Einstein. So I'm excited about that as well.
Wow. Now, do you know, with some of your events, I know you said that sometimes you have to pre-register. Is it ever where you can just walk in?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And, even though, walk-ins are not preferred.
Okay.
Because we like to know who's coming.
Who's coming.
And that makes sense, yeah, especially these days.
It just helps in terms of logistics because, I have to have an even number of people to do it.
Makes sense.
So if I'm going into an event and I only have 11, I'm going to need one more person, or I'm going to have to tell my 11th person, hey, I can't have you date because I have to have an even number of people. So it really helps us if you register in advance because that way, we can plan accordingly. And also because of, the cost of the event is $25. It helps ensure that people show up.
Makes sense.
If people have paid $25, they
most likely they're coming.
They're going to be there.
Right.
So that's been really helpful, and to, but we do allow on-site registration, but we charge more for that, really to encourage people to register in advance.
Okay.
Excellent.
Wow.
Tell everybody how they can get in contact with you. How can they be a part of your events?
Absolutely. I think the easiest way to reach me is on Facebook. You can find us at Social Experiments DC, and it's SOCIALEXPERIMENTS DC, spelled just like it sounds. We're also on Twitter, Experiments DC. We also have an Instagram account, Social Experiments DC, and a blog page, which is socialexperimentsdc.blogspot.com.
Nice. Very, very nice.
Wow. So my final question for you, what is your ultimate goal with, all the different activities, all the different events that you actually plan? What is that one ultimate goal that you want to reach?
Well, right now I'm looking to expand our reach.
Okay.
I mentioned that we're doing events in Atlanta, so we've branched out from DC. I say that to some degree. I think the noveltiness of it here in DC has worn off a little bit. So we've branched out to Atlanta, and we've gotten a great response from the folks in Atlanta. I've had people in South Jersey and Philly hitting me up, asking me to come and do events there. I've also had folks from New York who've inquired, about me coming to New York and doing an event in New York. So definitely open to that. So really right now, I'm just looking to expand our reach, not only in terms of the number of people who have an opportunity to do these events, but also, just growing the business as a whole. And even offering different types of activities for singles. And, because I'm here in D.C., I want to experiment, if you will, with D.C. So much of what we're doing really has been a social experiment, pardon the pun,
Nice.
to see, whether or not we can garner an interest in these types of activities and events. And I think that there are folks, who do want something different. That is affirming and positive and socially healthy. So I'm hopeful, that we'll be successful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've already started. You took it from DC now to Atlanta, and now you have different people reaching out to you.
When is the event in Atlanta?
This Saturday.
The event in Atlanta is this Saturday at 6 o'clock at Einstein's in Midtown.
Do y'all have any openings? The only reason why I asked is because now that I'm thinking, maybe we can do a gifter for Terrence. Terrence just moved to Atlanta this week, or early part of this week.
Yes, he told me that he's in Atlanta, and I encouraged him to register for the event, so hopefully we'll see him. And yes, there are still slots available.
There you go, Mr. Styles.
Awesome.
There you go. There's
All
spots.
right.
There's
If not, we'll
spots
sign you up, Mr.
Exactly.
Styles.
Exactly. We'll send that mannequin that we built in.
But
Well,
you have been great.
yes, you have.
We
You
appreciate
have.
your time, and definitely keep up the good work and the professionalism. And again, I commend you on the job that you're doing, because I know in Maryland, I haven't heard anything like that, and it sounds like a really safe environment as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, I encourage people to go out and support and get in contact with you. If you can give us your contact information one more time.
Sure. It's we're on Facebook as Social Experiments DC. Also, we're on Twitter, Experiments DC, Instagram, Social Experiments DC, and the website is socialexperimentsdc.blogspot.com. And again, thank you guys so much for this opportunity.
Oh, no
I'm
problem.
incredibly grateful. Congratulations on the new hosting gigs. I wish you both much
Thank
success.
Thank you.
And when you get your first success story, give us a call.
Yes, please do. Please do. Please
Okay.
do. Especially when the wedding happens, so we can come
Well,
and crash the
look,
reception.
You know what, Sean might be your first success story.
I claim that.
Yeah.
Hey man, I claim that.
You're probably gonna see him on your next list when you go
Exactly.
back. He done wrote all your information down.
I'm excited now.
Yes.
I'm excited.
All right.
Thank
have a
you
good
so
night.
much, Michael Kirkwood. Once again, this is Dating for Dummies. Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys have a good night.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that was good.
That was
really
great.
good. Yeah, I never thought about, you know, doing any type of speed dating. I never thought about doing any type of social mixer, like anything like that. I've never thought about that before. But it's so many different methods, just not doing the whole online thing. Like you got so many different methods that you can actually try. But that's wow.
Right. I mean, I definitely feel like this is a great outlet, and again, a safe environment, and somebody that's very focused, that that's hitting it up and care about the community like that. I think that's really, really good.
Yeah, and the fact that he's taking it on the road now, and even more people are reaching out to him. I think that's the positive thing that I like about it, because so many people get so leery when it comes to stuff like that. Because I mean, I've heard people talk about it, but people get so scared, especially, I mean, even online dating.
Yeah.
But I'm like, sometimes it's better to talk to them face to face in person, because you get that better vibe and that feel. Because on the phones, a person can lead you on in wrong different ways, man.
Right.
I'm telling you, they tell you one thing, and then in person you like, okay, wait a minute. You deep in your voice for a reason. I know what's up. Yeah. Oh, I know you dating somebody. I know you dating somebody. Wow. So, well, I guess let's take a break. And then we're actually going to have our next guest, Mr. Brandon Scott. He's going to actually be joining us right here as our chronicle tonight is Dating for Dummies.
All right.
And it's funny, I got one thing to say. I was laughing because I was telling a couple people what the chronicle was tonight. And one of my good friends, she was like, well, wait a minute. Could the show actually be, instead of Dating for Dummies, I'm Dating a Dummy? I said, well, that's probably another show. But that's a good one, because that happens.
Wow, one of the things I got, I mean, this probably was a dummy that said it, but like, so what about Dating for Dummies? I want to listen to the show, but I'm not like a dummy.
I've got that too. Oh my God, I got the same
aren't
thing.
you single? And aren't you looking to date so you can learn something from the show?
All right, more Style Chronicles when we come back, when we return.
Chronicles with your new host, the Danielle Baker, and
Sean Smack Mac. I like that.
Smack.
Have you came up with something yet?
I haven't, but it's coming along.
I'm telling you, that's gonna be it. Danielle Baker.
And yours gonna be Mackety Mac Daddy.
With the shaking all, with the shaking all, you shaking like you at the club.
Yeah. So tonight our chronicle is Dating for Dummies. If you are just now tuning in, we have had a great amount of information. Again, we want to thank Mr. Michael Kirkwood for calling in and giving us a lot of great information on his events that he has going on for same-sex dating couples.
Yes.
So you definitely want to reach out. Go to our Style Chronicle page on Facebook. If you're not already joined the group, you can right now under the Style Chronicles. That's Style with 2 Y's, to find out more information on how you can get in contact with Mr. Michael Kirkwood and join some of his events he got going on.
Yeah, so you can always hit myself up on Facebook or Instagram, and you can also hit Ms. Baker. We can give you that information a little later on, and we can tell you all that. So I'm just curious, have you ever did any type of like dating, as far as like speed dating or anything like that? Have you ever participated in anything?
A partial speed date, and
What is
it
a
actually.
partial speed? How can you partial speed date?
Because actually a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, had put together, well actually two friends of mine. One I didn't make at all, but the other one I had to end up leaving. Like I had an emergency, something happened right when it was time to like sit down. I just remember I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I have to leave. And then I just heard the guy say, oh, well my date has to leave, so it was just a mess. And I was
You
just
just
like,
rolled
oh,
out.
and I had to go. I can't even remember exactly what happened, but I didn't get a lot of time with the speed dating. But however, I think that they are very, to me, the energy is normally, you know, it seemed like it would be good. And
Okay.
also, I felt like I was going to get a good experience, you know, for the amount of people that were there. You know, I always tell people though, on the first date of any kind, you always meet the person's agent first.
Oh yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
really meet who they are on that
That's
first
true.
date. You know?
Now, do you actually tell your name? Do you tell your real name?
I do.
Okay.
I don't go.
Do you
in
tell
the
your real
whole-
occupation?
No. Well, see, I say I work for.
Okay,
which
you do that. You do that.
I do. I work for, because what I have found out in the past, that a lot of guys can be intimidated if you tell them, you know, you own your own businesses and you know all the stuff you do.
I can buy you out. That's
No,
what
I
you
don't
do.
know
Like,
about
I can buy you out.
But you know, some guys do get intimidated when you know a woman that have their own businesses, or you know got a lot going for themselves. They might feel like, oh well, what can I do for you that you can't do for yourself? So I try to not make that the center of attention.
Right.
You know, kind of coming in. So unless you meet me already in my profession, you probably won't know until you know a little bit down the
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That definitely does make sense, because I think that's what a lot of people get, especially you know men these days. That really, like, when you meet that significant other and they may be a little bit more successful than I'll probably say you are at that current time. It intimidates people. It's a scary thing, even down to, okay, well, you know, well, I'm a lawyer. Oh, well, I'm a judge. Oh.
Or I'm still in college.
Oh, yes. That's the one. And you like, really? And I guess they get that fear. I think sometimes it's just like, well, all right, so what can they do for me, really? And sometimes it's not even like that. It's really not even like that. I'm talking about more so they're going to feel that the other person is feeling like, okay, what they can do for me because you're in college.
Right, but see, it's all about, even if you are in college and somebody is very successful,
Right.
It's all about your confidence level.
Oh, exactly,
and
exactly.
you being confident in what you're going to do in life, you
Yep,
know?
I agree.
So as long as you're confident and you're comfortable with that, I don't think you should think about it as, oh, dang, this person has a better job than me or make more money than me, you know, because there's so many different things that you can bring to the table outside of just that, quote unquote. So I just feel like people should be comfortable and confident wherever they are. And if you're not, you shouldn't be dating. You want to get to a point where you're really,
True.
you know, confident with yourself before you try to go and date anyway. So
what's one thing I will say while we're waiting for Brandon Scott to call? What's one thing that that you would say that a female needs to really like watch out for when they're in the dating field? If you can give some type of.
well, as a woman, I would definitely say to any woman, watch what you putting out there, because you want to make sure you attracting the right kind of man. So if you know you don't want a man that's out here just sleeping around, doing whatever, very disrespectful to women, then you shouldn't be degrading yourself with what you wear, what you're posting, what you're saying out your mouth, you know, those different types of things, because that's what you're going to attract back to you.
Okay.
So I would say definitely to make sure that what you're putting out is what you want to receive back to you. If you keep saying, well, why am I attracting all of these bad guys, or you know, just dudes that just treating me wrong and stuff like that, you have to ask yourself, well, what actually am I doing? What am I saying? Who am I hanging out with? You know, where am I meeting these people at? You know, that sort of thing. And be clear about what you are looking for.
Yeah, definitely. What it is that you really want. I mean, because I think that's the biggest thing that I think a lot of people get intimidated by, is just the simple fact that you don't really know what you want. So you're out here, you're trying to look for something, but because you don't know what you really want, everything that's coming along, you're kind of just pushing away. And you're actually pushing away, like, really good people. Like, really good people. And that's another thing that I'm curious to ask you about. Why is it that it's always the bad, you know, males and females?
Okay.
I'm going to say both, because, you know, you do have some bad girls. You do have some bad girls. Why is it that they always get more of the play than the good people?
I won't say always.
Well, it seems like these days, it's more people that will say, I want a bad boy or a bad girl. I want that person that's on the edge. Because, you know, a good guy or a good girl, you really don't, I mean, you know, they don't really push the bar too much. And I like that edginess. Why is that the case?
I think when it comes to that, I really think that it's the confidence level.
Okay.
Some people feel like, you know, oh, I'm interested, I'm going to go after that, and they do.
True.
You know, and people like to be with confident people. Just period. A woman don't want a weak man, and a man don't want a weak woman, or same sex.
Same sex, right? True.
Don't want their opposite to, you know, whoever they're dealing with to be the weak in the you know, relationship. So when somebody is coming after them, or, you know, very consistent or persistent, and, you know, their interests, I think that plays a really big part.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And then it goes to love languages too. Like when you learn
love languages.
Love language, that person can be speaking that, you know, someone else's love language, and that can really attract them closer to each other, you know, as well. So one of the things that you just said, though, I want to piggyback on.
Okay.
We're talking about knowing what you want. One thing, I have a testimony.
Oh, I have
a
testimony.
One thing that I recommend for anybody that's looking to date, or, you know, wants to be in a relationship, and I'm only sharing this because it actually worked for myself. One thing that I did was I wrote down all the character traits and qualities that I wanted in a man. And then the next thing I did was really focus on them. So people that, you know, will be attracted to me, or I would talk to and stuff like that, I would try to see if that person kind of lines up to really what I'm looking for. Now, I made the list very, very detailed. I prayed over it, I meditated over it, and I really, really concentrated on all the positive things that I wanted in a relationship. And I feel like that's exactly what I have. It's probably about a list of maybe 23 things, which one of my girlfriends always smack my hands and be like, that is too much.
You know what? I'm not even gonna say don't feel bad, because one of my best friends, like my sister, Hope, she does the exact same thing. I went in her house and I didn't know anything about it. You know, you always hear about it, but you really don't know until you really see somebody do it.
Right.
Because I guess for like me, it's pretty much like mental. Like certain things I can just spit out. Blah, 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 blah. This. But when I walked in her house, Danielle, and on her refrigerator, okay? Refrigerator. First of all, magnets. Love magnets.
Yeah,
I opened it up.
I like her already. Who was that?
3 pages worth. I said, really? It's taking you 3 pages, and she breaks it down to
And you know what?
T.
I'm not mad at her, because you want to be as detailed as possible. And it's not just with your relationship. It's with your goals. It's what you want in life, period. You want to be as detailed as possible.
See, I get that with like your life goals. I get that, because it's almost like you're striving to go. That's what you're striving for. But it's just weird because so I'm gonna ask you a question. Out of that whole list, say for instance if you have 10 things, because I like the whole list thing. I definitely give you that, and I think the listeners, you know, there's a lot of listeners out here that probably got do the exact same thing as, you know, you and my friend Hope does. But with that being said, if out of 10 things somebody has 6, are you kind of like, I can give you an opportunity?
Well, I think it depends. You know, you could definitely, you know, wait it out. It's definitely probably worth seeking and really finding out that person possesses the other 4 qualities at some point.
Okay.
You know?
Now that's just 10. Now let's up the state. 30.
Well, this is the thing with 30. Now, and again, one of my friends thought I was crazy when I had 23 things down there.
First of all, I meant you had 23. You couldn't even You couldn't even just top it off at 25.
I'm gonna say this, that out of the 23 things in my relationship right now, he has 19 of those 23, and the other 4 that's left is because we just haven't got to that point in our relationship yet. So I feel like it definitely worked. And I would tell anybody to put it in priority order. If your priority ones are really, really taken care of, then I feel like that person is, considerable. Now, if you're dating someone that doesn't hit anything on your list, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
you already wrote down what it is that you desire.
That's true.
Another thing that I did when I was like all the way single, wasn't dating, talking to anybody.
Okay.
I wrote love letters. I wrote a love letter to the potential person as if he was already there.
See, it's crazy because I think as a woman, it's easier for you guys to kind of do that, to write a love letter to express yourself. But I know as a man, it's sometimes difficult. Now, I'm not speaking for myself because I don't have no problem with doing those things, but it's hard to find people to do it back to you. But I know there's a lot of men out here that just like, well, I ain't doing that. I can't.
Well, from a man, if you don't want to, write down. Well, I still say write a list. I mean, no.
I think that if more men did that, I guarantee you a lot of them will be more successful in relationships.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's he that finds.
Yep.
But anyway,
we back at the gospel. We're back at the gospel.
Last week. But no, all jokes aside, as far as that, if a guy doesn't want to write any type of love letters, then start to do things that you would do for your woman or your man or whoever that you're dealing with. Like whatever that may be, something special that you might get that person, something, trips you might want to go on. You might just start looking at them and looking into them and add it to your vision board or, whatever it is, your mental notes of what you keep. Like, okay, well, when I do get with the person I'm going to be with, let me start checking out some restaurants I would want to take that person. Let me, figure out some trips I might want to go on, some gifts I might want to give. Like, those are things that you could do still within that time frame. So when that person shows up, you have some things that you either, want to experience with them.
Yeah, and one thing I will say is know your worth. Know what you are worth. That it goes for anybody. Everybody that's out here, know what you're worth. There are a lot of people that are worth $2,000. But you're dating or talking to somebody or potentially building towards something with somebody that's worth $2. And you know it. And that's the problem that it makes me so mad. When you know that a person is not right for you. When you know this man is is not on your level for nothing. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. It's nothing wrong with saying, okay, you know what? We just not there with each other. You're on one level. I respect that. But I'm on a totally, different level. And I just need somebody that's going to go level for level with me. It just irks. That just makes me mad. That makes me so mad.
And I think with that is comfort.
Okay.
And it's also fear. It's mixed in between. People don't want to be by themselves.
Oh, that's true.
And that's the most healthiest thing you can do for yourself is to give yourself that opportunity to go through these different seasons and, go through your healing and really prepare yourself to be open for another relationship. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But people don't want to be by themselves, so they're willing to hold on to all this baggage, all this depression, all of this toxic, toxic people in their life just to have somebody. Yeah. But really, you're doing yourself a disservice and that person as well.
Yeah, that's true. And you're actually probably more better off by yourself.
I'm telling you.
Oh my good. I mean, I have been single for probably about 5-6 years now. And what's crazy about it? I'm not pressed or quick to try to rush into anything.
Right.
The biggest issue that I notice with the dating community these days is consistency.
Oh yeah.
People are not consistent. But you always want somebody that's going to be consistent. But then when that person is giving you those qualities, it's like you're just letting it fall down. And then once it's gone, then that's when they want to come back and be like, oh, Dang.
That's because we're in a microwave generation. It
That's
doesn't
true.
mean everybody wants to, just something going on right now. We have a caller.
Okay.
So just a second, we are talking about dating for dummies. And I'm trying to answer them out.
There you go.
WPB Radio.
Okay, I have to chime in on all of this. I can't help it. Am I on the air now?
Yes,
You're on the
Mr.
air.
Styles, you were on the air.
Okay, so this is Karen Styles, executive producer. And tonight's Chronicles is entitled Dating for Dummies. Okay, so I'm with you, Sean.
Okay.
I said that you've been single for like 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Same as me. The last time I was in a relationship was in 2000. I think it was a little longer than 5 or 6 years. It's been since 2006.
Oh, wait a minute. My counting is wrong. Sorry, I calculate all day, so my counting is wrong. I'm with you. I'm really with you. Yeah, so it's like 10 years. Like about,
2006.
2006.
yeah, so we're looking at probably like
So
about-
within that time, you both were dating, but like in an actual relationship, is what you're saying?
like from 2006 until now?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, the last time I was in a relationship was 2006. I haven't really dated. Like,
Oh wow.
I've been, how can I even put this?
Like casual dates.
Yeah, it's been like, I don't even want to put the word date to it. It's been like I just been casually, like, I will go hang out with somebody, chill with.
You was mingling, basically. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm with you.
Don't get me wrong. A grown man, he has his needs. You know, I had...
Speak on it. Not that confession.
So you haven't been celibate since 2006.
Wait a minute. Oh, God.
There's been periods in between those years where I had, like I think the longest I've gone has been a year.
Okay.
So you know I gotta say something real quick. You know I gotta say something.
So... What?
You said they've been periods. Have there been exclamation marks?
What? Don't do that, Sean. Don't wild out, because I ain't right there.
I'm not. Miss Bacon looking at me
Because he
like-
know I'm gonna get him. Honey,
She gonna stick
you
the
been
wrestling
doing
men
when
on me.
You already know when you're off time, you on the wrestling men. God dang it, been holding you over, baby.
That's why I'm single now. But hey, I can't with Miss Baker and the buttons. I can't. All right, go ahead.
But you know, it's difficult to date. Like, you know, and it's wild because, Danielle, you said something earlier about men are intimidated by women who run their own businesses. Well, men are also intimidated by other men that have a lot going on, too.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, some people that know me know I'm a humble guy. I do what I love to do, and I do my best to be successful in life. So rather I'm doing one thing or 2 million things, I'm doing me. So yeah, do I have time to date? If the right person comes along, then hell yeah, I have time. I want to make time to date the right person. You know what I mean? And people say, what's the right person? The person that is into me is as much as I am to them.
Right.
We can communicate. We can talk. Like, I'm a communicator.
Me too.
I like what you know, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, you like to travel, you like to watch old black and white movies like me, like to drink wine. What is it that you like to do so I can find similarities? So that way I can woo you, but I want you to woo me too.
Right.
But how do you get a person from out of that whole social, like on the new way of doing things where, I'm not picking up the phone and calling you, I'm just texting, or, I'm, on your Facebook page, we're just going to Facebook back and forth. It's like...
Sometimes you gotta take the initiative. Sometimes you just gotta pick up the phone and say, look, I'm not texting you. Let's talk. And I'm not saying you changing the person, but if you make the initiative on certain things, then you can kind of say, hey, this is what I'm not going to do is keep texting you. So it's not, to me, this whole social media thing, it's crazy that we're talking about this because right now I'm taking a grad class about social media and the new wave of communication. Like, it's all fine and dandy, but I like the old way. Like, face to face.
Yeah.
So let's talk on the phone. Yeah, texting is cool during the day while we at work, but after work, let's talk on the phone. Let's see each other. Let's pick days and times that we can go out to dinner, that we can sit and watch a movie together, that we can cuddle, that whatever the situation may be. But sometimes one person has to take the initiative
Right.
to open that new fame of whatever it is to be able to get to know one another.
And you know what's funny? The same thing like Ms. Baker said earlier, like a little while ago, was that a lot of people, you get comfortable. And I think that's the problem. If you meet somebody, you know, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, online dating, there's nothing wrong with speed dating, there's nothing wrong with meeting somebody at the club and, you know, build it from there because you never know. That could possibly be the one. But I think you get comfortable with the way that the person communicates with you. And if you're just settling for that one way, come on now. Come on now. If you dating somebody and you have not seen this person in like 2-3 months, y'all just talk once on the phone. No, oh no, y'all not dating.
Y'all real good Judy.
Or Jones, or real good Jones.
Right, y'all real good Jones.
Or Jordans for the guys. Y'all real good Jordans.
Right, y'all real good Jordans.
That's crazy. And I tell people that all the time, but like a lot of times when I hear people talking about like, you know, different relationship issues, it's so funny because it goes from something small like that to something big where a person's like, well, he don't have the shoes that I like. So everything else is good. He got a good job, got a nice car, personality is good, got good qualities. But I just don't like the fact that like the shoes he has on.
You can
the way
help
he dressed.
somebody, I mean, with the dressing, you know?
And that's my thing. It's the small thing. And like I get mad when I see really like people that come across really good quality, genuine people. Genuine people that if I came across my way, I'm like, okay, we're game on. But it's like y'all just let these people just disappear. Just disappear. And that's what I was actually asking Miss Baker, Terrence earlier on about why does it always seem like that the bad guys or the bad girls, you know, those are the ones that really get the play. Like they really get more, you know, more dates, they go on more dates, they hang out more, they do a lot more. Like, why is that? And then people, the first thing they say is,
it does come off that way. It does.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that the good people are also getting, we just don't hear about it. It's almost like the news.
That's true.
You hear all this bad stuff on the news, but you don't hear the good stuff. But there are good people doing good things in the community.
Tell me something good.
Why the news is not captured? Because it's not good for their business.
That's true.
To give bad news and good news.
Right.
That's true.
Which is crazy to me because I feel like it would be the other way around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like people that doing great things in the community. It's like people that have great businesses. It's like these people some people are getting, you know, stuff handed to them, and they doing any way to try to manipulate the situation or try to bring people down like crabs in a barrel. Versus you have people who are trying to build up people, but you don't hear about them. They're not getting praised. They're not getting offered certain things. They're not
That's
getting
true.
offered television shows and getting offered sponsors and investors. It's the people that are backstabbing others or stepping on people that are sitting their way to the top. It's crazy to me. It's like this world is ass backwards.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's ass backwards. It's like the good people are getting shit to the top, but the bad people get raised to the top.
Yep.
What? What is going on?
So
And maybe the same in a relationship too. I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, no, a lot of it is too. A lot of it is in relationship just as well. But Miss Baker, I got one for you. So for me and Terrence, I'm curious because you know neither one of us got kids. What would you say, or to a person like that to anybody that has kids, that as they're growing up, when they start getting into that age where they can actually start dating or something, what kind of advice would you give as a parent to kind of guide your child in the right path when it comes to start dating? Because like he said, it's a crazy.
Listen, you fast forwarding me a lot right now.
You better get ready. As TD Jake said, get ready.
What I would say, first and foremost, it starts at home, leading by example. You know, your children gonna go back to what they see. So I feel like one, I have to be a good example for my daughter. Secondly, when I want to have that open communication with my daughter where she can feel like she can talk to me about different things.
Okay.
I would probably start to make comments on movies, things that we see when we're out, just to kind of pick a little bit to see where her mind is, and then we'll have to have those conversations, and we'll talk, like, because when you start dating, one of the things my mother did, I mean, she really didn't want me to date, but when I was young, 16, 17, but she would ask me stuff like, okay, now what kind of date is this? Well, where y'all going? Where y'all going? Well, what kind of guy is this? So why are you seeing him? Why is he your boyfriend then? Like, she would get so deep to make you be like, well, he really not my boyfriend. He's just a boy that's a friend. Like, I would try.
But did that actually help you when it comes to choosing the people to date?
Then she'll say, don't you bring no hoodlum up knocking on my door.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think what helped and what kind of curbed it for me, honestly, is because I had brothers.
Oh,
and I seen all the things that they did and what I did not want. So because I was around that and, how they treated women, whether it was good or bad, I saw it. I saw it all.
Okay.
So that really kind of helped.
And it's funny that you say that. Like, somebody that I dated a long time ago, that it was probably like one of my longest relationships. His mother did the exact same thing. Like, when I came, it wasn't his mother, it was his mother and his grandmother. They sat me down before we could even go anywhere. We were just literally going out to eat. Sat me down and drilled me with questions. Why? If, this, that, this. But you know what was funny? I was honestly prepared for everything, and I honestly respected that from the time we first talked all the way up until like now. Even when I run into his parents or something like that, I was like, wow, that I definitely respected that. So
I miss that.
People don't do that no more.
Yeah. Well, Terrence, what do you feel as far? What do you feel? What do you feel it should be a good timing to meet someone's family?
Oh, that's a good one. It almost kind of lines with meeting someone's children. If they have it. I think you need to get past the 90-day mark.
Okay.
The 3-month rules, so to speak.
Definitely.
To meet somebody's parents, you gotta get. My thing is you gotta get through the 90 days, and then after the 90 days, I think you need to. I think 6 months is good to either meet the parents or the children of the person that you're dating. Because I think at the 6-month mark is half of a year, so by that time you should know if you really
want to be
exclusive with that person or not. So you gotta get your 30 days, because I think 90 days to get to know that person for your probationary period, and then after that you take it to 6 months, because by that time you'll know a little bit more about each other. So 6 months come along, you meet their parents, or if they got kids, you meet their kids.
Okay, so for both of you, how do you seeing that the show is the Chronicles tonight is Dating for Dummies? How, if you're not a type of person that is very straightforward, like, I don't have no problem with telling a person anything, like, look, I'm not feeling you, this is not our thing. If you're more so, kind of quiet, you keep it to yourself, you're kind of cute with it, you don't know how to kind of like express your feelings too much, how do you let a person know that either one, you're feeling them, or two, this just ain't working?
I tell them.
Sean, you know me for quite some time. Danielle has known me a little bit longer. I'm a very straightforward, blunt person.
Right.
I try to be discreet on how I say things. I'm working on that. But I pretty much just say we're better off as just friends, or maybe this is not working for me. I don't know about you. That's just me. I'm the type of person that I'm pretty much an open book to a certain extent. Like, I'm not going to volunteer information, but if you're asking me a question, I'm not going to lie about it. I'm going to tell you straightforward. Now, unless it's really detrimental for me as far as us dating or trying to get to know each other, if I'm not feeling you, I'm going to say, look, I don't know about you, but this is not working for me.
Right.
No offense, but this is, maybe we can hang out, maybe go to the movies, chit-chat, maybe go off a cocktail, rather than that, as far as trying to build a relationship or try to get to know each other on that level, it's not working.
Yeah, I would say the same for me. I would definitely, because I don't want to waste anybody's time, and I don't want anybody to waste my time.
Yeah.
So I would let them know as gentle as I can, but I would still have to let that person know. And then sometimes people just get offended with it,
That's true.
But it sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow, especially when it comes to some point of rejection. But then you got people that don't say anything; they just disappear, and then the person calling you, and then you're not responding. And I don't think that's really, I mean, at least if you had a conversation with somebody before, at least give them that conversation.
Oh my goodness, just wrap it up.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. Give me a season finale, please. Or a series finale. Give me a series finale. Right. Give me the opportunity to go to another network. Yes, please. Let me move the cable. Because clearly, regular TV ain't doing it for me.
NBC don't want me, maybe HBO does.
Yeah! Yeah! I need a lifetime in my life, okay?
I need at least 8 seasons of checks coming my way.
Yeah!
When I get syndication after that.
Yeah! Yes! Syndication! Yeah! You know what? On that note, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break.
Thanks for calling back in. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Okay, bye.
We're going to wrap things up. We're going to wrap things up right here on the Style Chronicles. For tonight, the Chronicle is actually dating for dummies. We'll be right back.
We're back.
Woo!
Welcome back to the Style Chronicles. Chronicle tonight is dating for dummies. And it has been interesting.
Yes, we had our guest Michael Kirkwood. Thank you so much for calling in. Shout out to Brandon Scott. Brandon Scott, you know, I know the weather's kind of crazy down here in, you know, the DMV area. So hopefully everything is, you know, good with him. He's safe. But definitely, you know, shout out to Brandon Scott. He wasn't able to be on the show tonight, but we still send you our Style Chronicles love, of course. But yes, tonight's Chronicle has been really, really good. And hopefully, you know, like the listeners been really getting some really good, you know, information. I'm even learning some stuff. I'm really learning some things because, you know, it's weird just how this society is kind of like flip-flopped. Mm-hmm. And like we were just talking about how social media has really taken over and people are just, you know, more comfortable with just, you know, interacting on there. But I so agree with Terrence. Like, if we can so get back to the days where, you know, people really want to pick up the phone and have conversations. Oh my goodness. The world will be a better place. The world will be a much better place.
For me, can we just get back to courting?
Okay.
And people actually.
Now, what is that? Just for some people that may not know, because you know we busting out big words and big things, and you know we may have some younger listeners. So you know, what would you say?
Courting is you know, it's definitely a difference between courting versus dating.
Okay.
When you're talking about courting is more so with the intent to marry.
Okay.
And you know, you save yourself in, you know, basically into marriage.
Okay. Which is hard these days.
Well, definitely.
Temptation is powerful.
It was hard back then too, but it was done. So
that's all that matters. But it goes back to parenting. It goes back to who your parents is, and you know,
the generations have definitely changed. But you know, even down to you know, a man coming to date a woman, and you know, being asked by the dad, or you know, having to ask the dad, or you know, something like that, and having questions, you know, to find out really what the intent is for that person's daughter. I think that would cut down on teen pregnancies,
Mm-hmm.
You know, diseases, you know, if we've really still had that going in 2015.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's a lot of the problem too. You know, women just have it, in some cases have it better, because I think, you know, come into a situation and like you go and meet a guy's, you know, mother or father, you may be nervous, but I don't think you're going to get looked at as the same. Mm-hmm. But when you're a male and you're stepping into that, you know, that atmosphere, and you're meeting somebody's mother, it's one thing. You may get a little looks here and there, but when you meet that person's father, whole nother situation, because you can be like the girl can, or whoever can possibly tell, you know, their parents, hey, this person is like, they got this, like all these different, you know, credentials. But then, regardless of the case, you're always going to probably be looked at as, you may not be the one, you may not be right, or there may be something possibly wrong with you, or something like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I mean, that's probably like to a man, but also to a woman, that's the same thing that happens.
Really?
Yes. People's mothers can look down upon, can feel like you're not good enough for their son, want to ask a lot of questions to you, can still be the same way. Everybody ain't go lucky, happy, Dory.
But do you, not lucky, happy Dory.
I made that up.
But do you think it happens more for a mother, for a woman to a woman, or do you think it happens more for a man to a man?
I'm going to say a woman to a woman. And because there's so many dads missing in the home.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
9 times out of 10, you're meeting the mother
yep.
before you're meeting the father.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I would say that in that regard.
And I think that's another thing that we need to just get back to, definitely with dating and just getting to that point, don't feel like you have to have a child. Not everybody is parent worthy. Know your parents' worth.
Well, yeah.
Because it's crazy that a lot of people resort to that. Like, oh, we gonna have a child just so I can keep her around, or just so I can keep him around. And I'm just like, that's crazy. Because you're bringing in more, you're bringing in an actual life, a life into this world that's already crazy as it is. But then going back to what you said earlier on, you have to set the example. And it's crazy how if you're not doing right, how are you expecting your child to do right as well?
Right.
And it's sad. It's so sad that that's how, situations are, that there are a lot of single parents these days. I mean, I commend them. My mom was a single parent, and I know how tough it is. But it's like, if we can avoid that in so many different ways, like, we wouldn't have so many issues that we're having nowadays.
A lot of issues are coming because people are not taking the time to really get to know someone.
Say it again.
People are not taking the time to really get to know someone.
True.
And with that, there's so many things going wrong. Whether it's people afraid to commit to someone,
okay,
some want a fast relationship or just don't want a relationship at all, but they're not spending enough time. You wonder how you a whole nother person after 2 months, or sometimes not even that long.
Yeah, that's true.
It's because you really don't know the person's size. You have to go through all seasons,
right, and just be understanding that they're gonna have some bad days. You're gonna have some bad days. And don't think that just because it's bad, that's when I gotta walk away. Because a lot of times, that's when the person really needs you the most.
You just struck a nerve, because a lot of people go and run away when it's time to face a problem. They don't want to communicate.
Say it again.
They don't want to, really talk through it.
Exactly.
They're ready to just run and give up. So.
Alright, so we're going to wrap things up with tonight's Chronicles. So before we wrap things up, I got 2 things I want to ask you. The last 2 things for Dating for Dummies. When you are in the process of getting to know somebody and you just meet the person, what are 2 questions that you would suggest a person asks? You're in the process of getting to know them. What are 2 questions that you feel like are important to ask a person?
Number 1 is, what's their goals in life? Like, what do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you see yourself in 10 years?
Okay.
It's very important for you to know the future, what somebody thinks of their self and their future, because if they don't know where they're going, they can't lead you anywhere. They're not. Right. That might not be a good matchup, because y'all going to be leading nowhere. Right. So that's very important, and then also just to kind of know of what they are looking for.
Okay.
In a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's 2 things I normally ask.
Well, I didn't say that. Well, that was normally, but I'm like scared, because number 1, I want to know, are you saved?
I asked the same thing too. I mean, you ask. It's nothing wrong with that. Those are typical things.
I don't ask in that way necessarily, but you better believe it's up on that priority.
Jesus.
I might hit around like, what church you go to? Right. But I wants to know. I
think one of my biggest things that I normally ask, what inspires you? Like, what inspires you just to get up every day? Like, because that is always what motivates me just as well too. Like, what honestly inspires you to be who you are, to get up and just go to work. I mean, you may hate your job, but at the end of the day, what inspires you? What inspires you to get that job? So, you know, yeah, those are really good tips. And you know, hopefully, you know, people are really definitely taking some notes tonight, because at the end of the day, as I said earlier on, it's dating for dummies. You don't want to have to end up dating a dummy. Because there are a lot of those
you don't
out
want to
here.
be the
Or
dummy.
be the dummy.
The dummy that's dating.
Another dummy. We can't have multiple dummies.
So now it's time for
the Chronicle messages. So before we get to that, thank you everybody that tuned in tonight. Thank you executive producer Terrence Styles for calling in. Thank you to our guest Michael Kirkwood. This has been an awesome first show for us.
yeah, it was great.
Yeah, taking over things.
High energy.
Yes, very high, very high. And we continue things next Monday. We're kicking off next Monday. Is our Black History Month with another awesome chronicle, and it's titled The Divine Nine. We're going to be talking about fraternities and sororities, getting some input about that. So, you know, Black History Month is a big thing, and, you know, which I always say, yes, I love the live studio audience. I feel like we should always celebrate Black History Month, all 12 months. Over with.
All done. Thank you for tuning in to the Style Chronicles with the Danielle Baker and
Sean Smile.
you can find me on
Yes, Ms. Baker, how can they find you?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter under the Danielle Baker. That's THEE Danielle Baker.
And you can find me on Facebook at Sean Mac Smack. You can find me on Instagram at SmackAttack321. Don't forget to actually go to our the Style Chronicles radio show Facebook page and Instagram page, all Style Chronicles, Chronicles with an S, Styles with 2 Y's. And friend, like us. Give us your comments about the show. What do you like? What you didn't like? You know, definitely we love all the feedback that you're giving. And also definitely check out the Chronicle website. It's www.thestyles with 2 Y's and an S, Chronicles with an S, .wordpress.com. And once again, next week's Chronicle is once again entitled The Divine Nine. We're going to be talking about fraternities and sororities and kicking off Black History Month.
Thank you for tuning in with us tonight.
What you laughing for?
And we hope that you enjoyed the show.
And we love you, as always, from the bottom of our Chronicle heart. Good night!
Until next week.